Hey guys, Jeff from Global NPN here. Talk about email filtering and the lack of deliverability, or just the poor deliverability that we're getting with email delivery sort of across the whole industry. And really, if you've been in this industry for more than a month, you probably figured out that deliverability is bad. It sucks. Because you got the major ISPs out there, Yahoo, Hotmail, etc., that have some pretty extensive spam blocking features and processes in place that prevent legitimate e-marketers from getting their messages to the inboxes of the recipients. I understand why they're filtering these emails, but we have to find a way to get around that and sort of maximize our chances of getting the emails actually delivered to the inboxes. So that's kind of the issue, is that we need to get them delivered, right? First thing you need to understand, there's so many variables in email marketing. It's impossible really to tell if our messages are even going to be delivered to every ISP, because there's so many different variables that vary from ISP to ISP. For example, like Yahoo may have your IP address blocked, but Hotmail might not. But Hotmail might not like the content of your message and might block it based on that. But it's okay, and it goes through to Gmail. Right, so there's lots of different variables that come into play. So there's no real guaranteed delivery of email, no matter what someone might tell you. It's kind of a big game, really. All we can really do is try our best to get the mail into the inboxes. So what I'm going to do here is I've got a list of how not to get your email delivered. Basically, how to get it blocked. So we want to avoid these things. So this is a list of conditions that might make it less likely that your email will end up in the spam folder, or not even make it that far, right, based on their filtering rules. So here's the top 5 list of things that might totally kill your email campaigns. So number 1 is to import and blast to leads that haven't double opted into your list. We're talking about leads that you buy from a leads broker, leads that maybe someone has given you. Basically, any leads out there that have not expressed their consent, have not given you explicit permission to send them a commercial email. Okay, if you start sending out those emails, your deliverability is going to go down. I'm not saying it's not going to get delivered, but this is one of the things that will decrease your chances of getting the emails delivered. Number 2 is to have trigger words, spam trigger words in the content of your email. Okay, these are words like, make lots of money and opportunity, and a lot of the things that we do advertise, right? So you want to find a way around that. So if your messages have these trigger words in them, or the subject of your message does, it's less likely to get delivered to the inbox. Number 3 is to have a blocked URL in the body of your message. So if you have a domain name in your message, maybe it's an affiliate link to something, and that has gotten complaints, there's been complaints about emails with that domain name in the body, the ISP might completely block your email based on the fact that you just have a domain in your email message, subject or email body. So you got to watch that. The way around that is to find a URL redirect service where you can mask that domain and still put it in the message body. Number 4 is delivering through a blacklisted IP address. So if the server where the email is going out has been blacklisted, there's all sorts of blacklists. Every ISP uses different ones. Some of them use the same ones. Some of them don't have them. So it's basically the IP address, or the internet address, of the server that is sending the email, that you're sending the email out through. If that has been blacklisted as suspicious or a known sender of spam, your message is going to bounce off their server and not get through. Number 5 I have is to deliver messages too quickly to the same ISP. And this is kind of more on the technical side, on the server side of things. What it's referring to is if you, for example, if you have a bunch of email addresses you're trying to send to, and you have 100 of them that are all Yahoo. They all go to Yahoo. And you try to fire them all off at once. So like 6 or 7 every second sending through a server all to Yahoo. Okay, Yahoo is going to look at that and go, well, wait a minute, this is way too many emails at once coming from this one server. So it's going to put up a stop sign and say, no, you can't send here. So that's another thing. So that's the top 5 ways to not get your emails delivered. There's lots of variables, as I said, at play. There's other things, technically speaking, like email header information, server configurations, country of origin, sending domain. The list goes on, really. But I guess the best way to get around all this filtering stuff is to follow these 3 things, is to always build your list using double opt-in confirmation. Because that means you're giving permission to send email to this person. They're not going to complain about that, or they're a lot less likely to complain about that. Clean your messages of any spam words. Get rid of the trigger words that the filters might catch. Try to clean your messages up. And don't be misleading in your subject lines or email messages. If what's in your email message corresponds to what's in your subject line, then you're fine. But, don't try to mislead people just to get them to read your email. As long as you're following those rules, you're more likely to get your messages through. And more importantly, you're more likely to get them opened and read and clicked on, right? So that's obviously what we want. So don't try not to get too frustrated with deliverability issues with sending bulk email, because there is no perfect solution. And it's getting more and more difficult these days to get any solution at all that's going to get your messages delivered. But, we do our best. So, concentrate on building a clean list, double opt-in, and sending them emails that actually have value to the recipient. Don't just send out ads after ads. You want to provide some sort of value so people read it and go, oh yeah, that is of value to me. That's some good information. And that gets your emails read, and that gets your emails answered the next time that you send them out. That is my message for the day. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.